Hello, everyone. This is Brother Auty Howard with Fire in the Spirit Prophetic Ministries, coming at you today with another video. This is this video is going to be following this recording is basically a recap of some things that some prophecies that was spoken in the past, some back in October 7th, I think it was 2019, that's completed, and they were really detailed on the first one. And the other one, which was the other day actually, and everybody of course seen the video of it, which was February 20th, talking about me seeing the missile and Ukraine. And the others were nothing great, nothing big, but I just put it in there. And what it is it's talking about the water, the food, and etc. And those are things that are still in process and that are actually starting to come to pass now and being fulfilled. What I'm basically doing is just recapping on some prophetic words. I'll probably do more of this, but I'm also, kind of putting some videos together and piecing things and just seeing how they're going to come out here. And, guys, be encouraged, even though what you're going to see here in this video, just be encouraged. Listen, no matter what it looks like, no matter what you hear here in the video, yes, they are prophetic words. Yes, some of them's already passed. Yes, some of them are already in the middle of passing. And yes, there is some tough things to come for the body of Christ. But listen to me, there is still a lot of hope. You listen to me, there is a lot of hope. God is about to do a new thing with the body of Christ. I truly am one that believes that no matter what you see, no matter how tough it is, no matter what's coming, I truly believe one thing. I truly believe that revival is going to come. I truly believe that there is going to be that billion soul harvest. And I truly believe that God is going to get the glory for everything, as he always has. Don't let anyone tell you that there is no hope. That's what the enemy would love for you to believe. Even though you're going to see some things in this video and hear some things, listen, the very end of it is talking about the food and the water. I've put out videos about this before. Okay, I've prophesied about these things, and I give them, I think it was a year or two ago. And I need you to understand, I was warning you about stocking up food and a year or two ago. You can go through my channel, you can find it. I don't know where it's at. I think I've did it 2 or 3 times. And you need to understand something. Even though we're arriving here at a pretty much late hour, before, when I had told you to pretty much, put in time and go get you some food and, stock up and etc. At the time that God had visited me and my family and warned this was when the prices were really good. This is when prices were decent. This wasn't when we were going through this major stuff that we were going through now. See, God warns at a time and an hour where it's going to be affordable and where it's not going to be so bad. And so people can't say that they weren't told these things. Now that we are in a late hour, prices of food are outrageous. Everything's outrageous. I would still say to you, before it really and truly gets bad, and before things make a collapse, if you've got ways of saving up and putting, if you've got huge gas tanks where you can fill up and put to the side in case you were to find yourself at a time where you would go to a gas station and there was no gas to get, go get you some rice, beans. I'm just giving you examples. Start getting extra, guys, while you can at least get it. Water, go get you some Berkey water filters and get you a system, but also have you some water saved up in case your water were to ever be cut off. This is not a fear tactic. God gave Joseph a dream and told them, while they're in Egypt, to start saving for 7 years because 7 years of famine was coming after. It's only wisdom. It's not a fear tactic. I'm not here selling anything. I'm not here trying to get you to do anything that you shouldn't do. If I'm doing anything, I'm trying to help you. Okay? Evaluate the things that you're doing in your life at this moment. Make sure you have plenty of cash at home. There's a time coming where the banks are going to shut down on you, and it'll be for a time. I don't know for how long, but if you don't have cash in your hands, it's going to be rough. I want you to understand something. The banks have always been contracted federally to let you know this one thing, that when there comes a collapse, that all of that money in your bank account is theirs, and they legally do not have to return it to you. Yeah, the majority percentage of it is theirs. And when I say majority, I mean, I until I go and look at that again, I forget, but I think it was like 80 or 90% of it is theirs. So you see, even then, they, as the feds, will regulate how much they'll even give you of what was there. So, I'm just going to say to you, start doing your homework, do your studies, because I'm going to say something to you. We are here. We are here. This is the hour. There's not much more waiting. Okay. But don't you lose hope. Revival is coming and God is going to get the glory, but we have to go through some things. Back in 22, God had me to put out this word that the earth was going to go through a major cleansing. And I seen the earth going through this like wormhole that it was going in one side and out the other. And the one thing that you would see in the video was me talking about this thing. And 2 days later, war started. Okay. Anytime, anybody that knows this, anytime wartime is going on, the prices go through the ceiling on gas and everything. Okay. But anyone that knows, because we have been going through COVID for a couple of years, they've already got the gas prices and everything outrageous. Could you imagine what it's going to be like now? You need to be prepared. You need to start stocking up and getting extras. I'm just telling you, it is the hour, guys. Don't wait no longer. Don't procrastinate this thing. I understand some of you have, limitations with money. So you only do what you can do. Okay. And do the best with what you've got. All right. So enjoy this video that is to follow. Give me a thumbs up there if you like it. And may you have yourself a wonderful day and weekend. God bless all of you. This is Brother Auty Howard with Fire in the Spirit Prophetic Ministries. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Pray for this country. Pray for this country. There will be man-made plagues and viruses coming out of laboratories that will hit the streets. Yeah. It's going to be almost like what they call a mass genocide. Now, will it be mass genocide? Like I said, it's going to be like mass genocide. Will it be that? I don't think it'll quite meet that qualification, but I will say this. It will do major damage. Anything to deter the election and to cause many different people to not win the election.
Is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak.
So when EcoHealth Alliance took the virus,
well, can I would love to finish.
SHC014, and combined it with WIV1 and caused a recombinant virus that doesn't exist in nature, and it made mice sicker, mice that had humanized cells, you're saying that that's not gain-of-function research. So what you're doing is defining away gain-of-function.
No.
You're simply saying it doesn't exist because you changed the definition on the NIH website. This is terrible, and you're completely trying to escape the idea that we should do something about trying to prevent a pandemic from leaking from a lab. There's the preponderance of evidence now points towards this coming from the lab, and what you've done is change the definition on your website to try to cover your ass, basically. That's what you've done. You've changed the website to try to have a new definition that doesn't include the risky research that's going on. Until you admit that it's risky, we're not going to get anywhere. You have to admit that this research was risky. The NIH has now rebuked them. Your own agency has rebuked them. But the thing is you're still unwilling to admit that they gained in function when they say they became sicker. They gained in lethality. It's a new virus. That's not gain of function?
It was all white light, but I could see what looked like a rocket or a missile, just like this, except for it was huge, much bigger than what you see here. I had a very close-up look of it, and it was, I mean, it was flying through the air. It hit, I don't know, looked like a city. And all I'm going to tell you is I seen a fireball go up, and I remember covering my eyes and my ears and thinking to myself, oh my God, I don't want to think about what chaos and disaster, and I don't want to think about what this has done. And I opened my eyes up, and it looked like a huge mushroom cloud up above.
That fiction now utterly exposed. Explosions right across this vast country. In Ivano-Frankivsk, in the far southwest, a missile struck an airport.
There's a man by the name of Mark. And he is ahead of the Facebook. He's going to take a major fall. Yeah, most people thought. He's got billions. He can't be touched.
With that in mind, it's easy to see why the events of yesterday came with such great joy to a lot of people. Meta's market cap fell by 26% in one day, erasing $240 billion of value, 25% in one day. This was the biggest single-day market cap drop in history for a US publicly traded company. Zuckerberg personally lost $29 billion in the collapse.
Water will be scarce in some places. Some places there'll be plenty, but it'll be places too where the water will be so contaminated, so bad, it'll have to be brought in.
The Lord told me, he said, Auty, he said there was no pipeline hack. He said there never was a pipeline hack. He said there's no Russian deal in this. There's no Ukraine deal in this. There's no nothing. He says it never existed. There is an agenda. This agenda is to shut down the U.S. economy. And I'm going to tell you something, and they're right now, I want you to hear it. They're right now working very, very diligently to shut down your food supplies. Your water supplies.
And we could see this actually playing out in the United States right now. You have one part of the country having major wildfires, and they would desperately like to have water. Meanwhile, opposite end of the country, they're dealing with major flood-like situations involving hurricane. So what you have is some places have way too much water, and other places who would desperately need the water aren't getting it.
This increasing imbalance is being felt around the world. In the last 4 decades, drought has devastated more people worldwide than any other natural disaster.
Okay? But the enemy is going to come in with famine. That's right. There's going to be a major lack. The major lack, food, water, etc. It will depend on state to state. Some states will have more food and cheaper, and some states will have hardly nothing, and it will be outrageous.
But the top headline tonight is the breathtaking rise of inflation. Consumer prices were up 7% in December compared to a year ago. That means the cost for virtually everything is on the rise: food, gas, rent, utilities, and cars. Unfortunately, economists predict it won't be over anytime soon, with inflation remaining high throughout the year. But higher prices aren't the only problems facing consumers. Bare shelves are another problem. Supply chain shortages are hitting grocery stores on even the most basic of items.
Nora, this is the sharpest rise in consumer prices in nearly 40 years, creating 2 problems for grocery shoppers: rising prices emptying their wallets, and the store shelves emptying too.
Amid the Omicron wave of the pandemic, the problem isn't just the prices of items on the shelves, it's finding and stocking them. Supply chain disruptions have starved stores of staples, from the produce aisle to the paper products. At his grocery store in Washington, D.C., Roy Rodman says it's never been so difficult.
A survey by an association for the nation's grocery stores finds 80% of them are having trouble recruiting or retaining workers. And that'll cause disruptions in the weeks ahead. Nora?